Namaste. On behalf of Project Self, United Consciousness, I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you in this global celebration of United Consciousness International Week of Peace. UNESCO in its constitution writes that war begins in the mind of the man. And that's why even the constructs and defenses of peace also needs to be built in the mind of the man. Peace is our birthright. Three kinds of peace. My peace with myself. Peace within me. Second, peace with the people around me. And third, peace on the planet and the world in general. But due to limited identities, it appears that peace on the planet is under great threat. Limited identities of fundamentalism of religion, intolerant thoughts, wealth divide, caste divide, divide on the basis of region, fanatic nationalism, status, color of skin, racism, casteism, divide on the basis of species, human beings consider themselves owner of all the species. Divide on the basis of gender, sex orientation, habitat even. Human beings consider themselves owner of the whole planet and leads to global warming. When this divide, because of these divides, peace which should naturally flow has to be established by forces of peacekeeping. And that's why 25 years ago in the United Nations General Assembly, we all as a planet adopted a resolution for culture of peace. And today, we are also celebrating 76th year of Declaration of Human Rights for the people on the planet, where dignity, equality and justice is upholded. But it seems that we didn't improve our progress enough in that. We are seriously off track on Agenda 2030 we set for ourselves. 1 in 8 people globally is still suffering from mental disorder. Suicide is being the second leading cause of death among youth today. But still, global defense budget is twice of the global health budget. International disarmament expenditure is only 0.039% of the annual military expenditure in 2013. So United Nations alone can't do it. And that is why United Consciousness celebrates this United Nations International Day of Peace, which is a sincere attempt to raise the consciousness of the planet. Which could not be achieved by the stroke of pen or by the forces or by the resolutions can be achieved by the resolution of mankind, by rising consciousness of all. It is rising consciousness that before taking any action, I will ask 3 questions from myself. Question number 1, whether this action will lead to uphold and sustain peace within me. Second, whether this action which I am taking will improve or sustain my peace with the people around. And third, whether the action I am taking will uphold or sustain the peace on the planet. Because peace is not only absence of conflict. At individual level, peace is the presence of the feeling of joy, serenity, dignity, hope, freedom in me. With other people, peace stands for joyful interpersonal relationships based on love and equality, where I can see me in you, you in me, and us in all. Peace on the planet is also celebrating oneness and this diversity beyond limited divides. So every action which we take should end with disseminating more peace on the planet. In Sanskrit, peace is called Shanti. So peace within myself, peace with others, and peace in the world also. United Consciousness International Week of Peace celebration is one of the world's biggest celebration of United Nations International Day of Peace. This celebration begins on 14th of September, and this celebration will continue till 22nd of September with a hope that even if this event is over, the celebration of peace and happiness will continue resonating in everybody's life on the planet. In this program, life coaches, spiritual masters, academicians, public representatives, public servants, scientists, artists, bureaucrats, and all statesmen of repute are coming from different parts of the world, from all 6 continents of the world, because we stand together for a peaceful world. Dear friends, let's join hand together in saying, before we do anything and after we do anything, invoking the higher within and saying, Om Shanti, may there be peace within me. Om Shanti, may there be peace around me. Om Shanti, may there be peace on the planet, in the world. On behalf of Project Self, European Yoga Federation, Yoga Australia, Yoga Vidya Spiritual Council in Africa, AYT, and other important sister organizations of United Consciousness, I welcome all of you to join the celebration for the joy of life. Namaste.
I'm feeling happy and excited to welcome our next performer, Mr. Dariush Zerbafian. He's PhD in musicology from University of Toulouse-Limeral, France. He is member of the scientific research team of University of Toulouse, member of the French Society of Ethnomusicology of France. He is professor of the Faculty of Arts Music Department, Université de Mortain. 2 of his original compositions are Iranian Model Music, Iranian Percussions. His major publications include the Music Learned Iranian, Contribution to the Analysis of Mondic Systems and Metrics, published by Diffusion, ANRT, Reproduction of Pieces, Université Lille. He has performed in various international concerts and shows in Canada, France, Switzerland, Spain, Belgium, Germany, Holland, Iran. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and please welcome Mr. Dariush Zerbafian. On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Dariush Zerbafin for his accelerating performance. Thank you so much. I'm feeling highly honored to welcome and introduce Shri Vishwas Sarang ji. He's a prominent Indian politician known for his dedication and service as a member of Bharatiya Janata Party. Currently, he holds an important portfolio of Ministers of Cooperative, Sports and Youth Welfare in the government of Madhya Pradesh. His political journey is deeply rooted in Madhya Pradesh, where he represents the Narela constituency in the Madhya Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Bhopal. His leadership skills and commitment to public service have been evident since his early days as a corporator of Bhopal South Vidhan Sabha constituency. An engineering graduate, he has combined his technical knowledge with a pragmatic approach to governance, working on transformative projects in rural development and gas tragedy rehabilitation. His ability to tackle diverse challenges and lead impactfully initiatives is reflected in his tenure as Minister of Gas Tragedy Relief and Rehabilitation and Panchayat and Rural Development under the former Chief Minister, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. His political legacy is also tied to his family, as he is the son of the late Shri Kailash Sarang ji, a former Rajya Sabha MP. His rise to political prominence came at young age when he won his seat at 37, continuing to defeat strong Congress contender in subsequent elections. A leader with a deep commitment to Madhya Pradesh development, his contribution in the areas of youth welfare and sports are widely appreciated. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Shri Vishwas Sarang ji.
एकात्म चेतना संस्था द्वारा आयोजित मैं इस कार्यक्रम की बहुत बधाई देता हूं। भारतीय खेल और युवा विश्व शांति का मार्ग, इस विषय पर यह आयोजन निश्चित रूप से पूरी दुनिया में एक नया संदेश देगा। वैसे भी हमारा दर्शन, हमारी परंपराएं, सनातन धर्म केवल एकमात्र साधन है जिसके माध्यम से हम दुनिया में शांति का पाठ पढ़ा सकते हैं। आदि अनादि काल से सनातन धर्म में इस बात को इंगित किया गया है, विश्व बंधुत्व और विश्व शांति ही इस मानव संस्कृति के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है। हम हर समय कहते हैं धर्म की जय हो, अधर्म का नाश हो, प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो और विश्व का कल्याण हो। हम पूजा करते हैं, अर्चना करते हैं, उपासना करते हैं तो केवल अपने लिए नहीं, केवल अपने परिवार के लिए नहीं, बल्कि हम विश्व की शांति और विश्व के कल्याण के लिए भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं। हमारा दृष्टिकोण बहुत व्यापक है और यही तो सनातन दर्शन है। सनातन दर्शन हर एक समस्या का निदान है, चाहे वो पर्यावरण संरक्षण का मामला हो, चाहे विश्व शांति स्थापित करने का मामला हो, विश्व बंधुत्व का मामला हो, या खेल जैसे विषय के माध्यम से युवाओं के शारीरिक और मानसिक स्तर के उन्नयन का विषय हो। हर विषय में हमारा दर्शन, हमारी परंपरा बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। मैं आयोजन की बहुत बधाई देता हूं और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं कि निश्चित रूप से यह आयोजन एक नई चेतना पूरे विश्व में फैलाएगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Shri Vishwas Sarang ji for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and giving his valuable time to us. Thank you so much. It's my privilege and honor to welcome Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, who is the embodiment of intellectual rigor, political acumen, cultural leadership, and are committed to public service with deep roots in India's national ideology. Dr. Sahasrabuddhe is a distinguished political scholar, senior BJP leader, and cultural ambassador of India. He served as a member of parliament from 2016 to 22 representing Maharashtra and was the national vice president of Bharatiya Janata Party from 2014 to 20. Since 2018, he has led the Indian Council for Cultural Relations as its president, contributing significantly to India's cultural diplomacy. Dr. Sahasrabuddhe is known for his intellectual contributions and strategic roles in BJP, including chairing the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Education, Women, Children, Youth and Sports. His political journey began with Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, where he served as a full-time activist and national secretary. He played a vital role in BJP's think tank and was an instrument in training BJP ministers and shaping key policies. He has authored several influential books, including Beyond a Billion Ballot and The Innovation Republic, which highlighted governance innovations under Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Presently, he is the Vice Chairman of Rambhau Mahalgi Prabodhini, a research and training academy for elected representatives and a social activist. His contribution includes politics, academia, and cultural leadership, making him a key figure in contemporary Indian public life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe.
Namaskar and greetings to all. I must at the outset compliment my friend Dr. Vikrant Tomar and his entire team for organizing this particular conclave virtually on at the occasion of the International Day of Peace, and the United Consciousness, the organization, the platform that has been taking such wonderful initiatives all along for several years, has really chosen a right kind of subject. And it is truly a great privilege to be speaking to you on the topic that has been given to me, which is oneness in spiritual traditions, recognizing the divine essence in all beings. Friends, we are talking today when the global community is observing the International Day of Peace. And of course, the concern all over the globe is about the culture of peace. And this culture of peace is being, in a way, challenged by the vultures of conflict that are all around. And we see in certain parts of the globe how conflicts have taken a center stage, and the global community feels threatened by whatever is happening in certain parts of the globe. Now, when I dive deep into the reasons behind the conflicts that are there, whether in the Middle East or in parts of Europe or elsewhere as well, what I realize is that while the uh, reasons that are advanced by the aggressors could be about maybe strategic issues, maybe military conflicts, or even at times maybe economic issues as well. But at the core of the whole thing, at the core of the conflicts that we see all around, is the issue of identity, culture, and who dominates whom. This is because I believe the humanity, the entire global community, is yet to come to grips to the responses to certain fundamental questions that have been haunting the human mind for millennia together. And these are very fundamental questions in a way, although they sound very simple. The first question is, who am I? The second question is, why am I doing what I am doing? And third question is, what exactly is the purpose behind my existence? Now, when we start with the question, who am I? And the subject rightly mentions that our traditional cultures, essentially, and of course, the Indian culture most prominently, uh, sees an element of divinity not only in every human being, but in everything that is there all around. And with this particular approach of seeing an element of divinity in every individual, every object, whether a living organism or not, I believe is immensely critical in so far as conflict avoidance is concerned. Because we consider somebody as lesser mortal and try to believe that I am or we are superior to the others. See, the entire conflict that we have seen through various periods of history all along, at the core of the whole thing, whether it was the colonialism, whether it was the aggression by the invaders, who am I and how we will be governing, how we will be ruling, how we will be dictating our own terms to those who are uh, comparatively uh, weak than what we are. So the stronger people, in a way, trying to establish and trying to dominate those who are weaker than them, I think the entire history of humanity is a witness to that. But once we decide and convince ourselves that there is an element of divinity in every individual, and not in every individual, but even in Mother Nature and all the other objects as well. And we have to be grateful towards all of them. I think the idea of conflict evaporates. There is no place for any kind of a conflict once we recognize that there is an element of divinity in every individual, every human being, and every other object also for that matter. So, this is something which is the key to conflict avoidance and kind of a path for the culture of peace to be advanced. The second important question is why I am doing what I am doing. I believe that calls for revisiting the sense of purpose in all our actions, in all our utterances, in everything that we are doing. And there has to be the purpose of, in a way, strengthening this culture of peace. If by my actions, by my utterances, by my approaches, I am in a way harming the culture of peace and somewhere trying to promote directly or indirectly, advertently or inadvertently, the culture of conflict, then certainly I am harming the cause of humanity. And the third important thing is what exactly I'm here, why the Almighty, God, whatever you call it, the supreme element, has sent me on the earth. And if we try to realize that there is a purpose behind every human life, I believe humanity would be able to free itself from certain weird ideas that have distorted the concept of the culture of peace. There are several challenges: the challenge of one upmanship, the challenge of wokeism, where simply to be politically correct, we are trying to promote ideas which go against the very grain of humanism and humanity and the protection of human values. I believe the sooner we realize all these mistakes, the better for the promotion of culture of peace. Remember that to be appearing has become more important today than being. What we see, we tend to generally believe. But we have to understand that it would be dangerous for everybody to take the things on their face value. There are several things that the enemies of peace are advancing, and today, thanks to social media, we tend to believe that whatever appears is truth. Many a times, the facts are otherwise. And therefore, those who are good, we should be trying to help them to appear good. And those who appear good, we should be double checking, cross checking whether they are really good or not. If we come out of illusionary ideas and save ourselves from getting deceived, save ourselves from getting into the trap of the deceptive elements all over the world, I believe we would be able to give impetus to the culture of peace, which is so very critical today when the humanity, when the entire global community is facing several challenges. I must once again compliment the United Consciousness and its entire team, and especially the leadership provided by Dr. Vikrant Tomar. My best wishes for the success of this particular session and this particular convention. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Sir, namaste. And it is always very inspiring listening to you, having you as the chief guest for this complete United Consciousness Week of Peace, which starts from today after your speech and will continue till 22nd of September. People from around 100 countries, experts will be participating in it and sharing their thoughts on culture of peace. So we are honored that you invoked in us those three fundamental questions. Who am I? Why am I doing what I am doing? And what is the purpose of my existence? And in order to search within ourselves these questions, certainly it will take us towards the culture of peace. And you also rightly warned us that whatever appears may not be true. And we need to double check before we believe on something. I'm sure that these messages and words of wisdom, which you are telecasting live from Germany, also shows your commitment in this topic and in this concern. Thank you very much for always blessing us, sir. My personal regards to you. Your presence strengthens us always, sir. So kind of you.
Thank you very much. Namaskar.
We thank Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe ji. We are honored, sir, to receive your visionary, insightful and motivating thoughts, which will encourage us throughout the endeavor. I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Indramani Pandey. He is a career diplomat of India. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1990 as Secretary General BIMSTEC. Before his current assignment, he served as a permanent representative of India to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva. He had earlier served as Additional Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs in charge of disarmament and International Security Affairs Division. During his 33 years long career as an Indian diplomat, he has served as Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman. Before his ambassadorial assignment in Muscat, he served as Deputy Ambassador of India to the France and Consul General of India at Guangzhou, China. He had also served in various diplomatic capacities in Indian mission in Cairo, Egypt, Damascus, Syria, Islamabad, Pakistan, Kabul, Afghanistan, and permanent mission of India to the Conference on Disarmament, Geneva, Switzerland. During his earlier stints at the Ministry of External Affairs of India in New Delhi, he handled assignments in West Asia and North Africa divisions, consular passport and visa divisions, counter-terrorism cells, Americas division, and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Myanmar divisions. From October 1998 to 1999, he attended Foreign Service Program at Oxford University, the UK. In 2009, he attended the 49th annual course on Indian Security and Strategy conducted by the National Defence College of India. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Indramani Pandey.
Distinguished fellow participants, esteemed audience, Namaskar. I wish you all a very peaceful morning. Thanks for your very kind introduction. I'm Secretary General of BIMSTEC, the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. It is a 27 years old regional organization with its focus on Bay of Bengal, and it brings together 5 countries from South Asia: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, and 2 from Southeast Asia, Myanmar and Thailand. It is my privilege to share my thoughts with you on the occasion of the United Consciousness International Week of Peace, a week that calls us to reflect deeply on the interconnectedness of peace, sustainable development, and our shared responsibility as global citizens. Today's discourse is a testament to our shared commitment to fostering globally the culture of peace through uniting our consciousness anchored on the well-being of our planet and people. I want to commend the chief guest, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, with whom I have shared a long and close friendship, on his enlightening discourse. I am grateful to Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, the global convener of United Consciousness, who has also been a valued and close friend, for inviting me to participate. In his opening remarks, he has set the backdrop for today's discourse, underlining the importance of individual action. As we explore together the pathways for realizing peace and sustainable development through uniting our consciousness, I would like to focus briefly on the relevance of the concept of identity in realizing the goal of peace through united consciousness. Identity studies have shown that our self-sense of identity is not merely a self-realization of who we are. It is deeply rooted in our affiliations, our nationality, ethnicity, religion, or other social constructs. Our sense of belonging to a specific group or groups also significantly influences how we interact with others, both within and outside our groups. In a world where individuals and groups have to navigate an increasingly interconnected global landscape for coexistence, our multiple and often conflicting identities present us with the challenge as well as opportunity to underline our shared identity of human beings. This will be our first step towards uniting our consciousness aimed at creating the culture of nonviolence, harmony, and peace. In today's polarized, divided, and conflict-ridden world, we need to emphasize more than ever our shared human identity in order to promote sustainable peace and development. An inclusive approach to identity, one that embraces identification with all fellow human beings, rather all living beings, is essential. When we see ourselves as a part of the larger human family, in line with the age-old paradigm of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, India's civilizational message, we are likely to act in the ways that promote the welfare of the entire humanity, coexisting and thriving together. Similarly, we need to recognize and accept the diversity of identities within our societies and nations, which would allow us to move beyond our biases and prejudices, fostering a culture of not only mutual tolerance, but also mutual understanding, respect, and acceptance of those with whom we do not share our identities. This in turn will foster the culture of nonviolence, peace, and harmony. This will be another important step towards uniting our consciousness for global peace and harmony. For BIMSTEC, this means nurturing a regional identity that celebrates the diversity of our member states and people within our member states, while uniting us in our pursuit of sustainable development, peace, and security. As a regional organization, BIMSTEC has been focused on achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals and advancing security and sustainable development in Bay of Bengal region through collaborative efforts in promoting energy transition, disaster management, environmental protection, and climate action. BIMSTEC has been taking initiatives to enhancing the resilience and capabilities of its member states to deal with the challenges of sustainable development. As we commemorate the United Consciousness International Week of Peace, let us reaffirm our commitment to building a world where peace and sustainable development are not just aspirations but tangible realities. By embracing a broader, more inclusive sense of identity, we can transcend the divisions that have led to conflicts and work together to create a just, equitable, peaceful, and sustainable world. The BIMSTEC's commitment to promoting security and sustainable development in Bay of Bengal is a testament to what we can accomplish together as a community of nations united by a common vision for a shared future of peace and prosperity. In conclusion, I would like to urge all fellow human beings to continue to build on our endeavors towards promoting sustainable development, peace, security, and harmony, guided by the principles of justice, equality, and respect for people and our planet. Together, as nations, communities, and citizens, we have the power to build a sustainable, peaceful, inclusive, equitable, and prosperous future for all of us, for the entire humanity. Let us reiterate our faith in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and our commitment to the welfare of the entire humanity. Let me conclude by a prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadran pasyantu, ma kaschid dukbhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Honorable Shri Indramani Pandey sir. Sir, it is so inspiring to listen how you mentioned about we should uphold diversity, but we should condemn divisions. You mentioned the importance of sustainable development goals and commitment of BIMSTEC towards UN's sustainable development goals. You also mentioned the importance of having a shared vision and common vision and shared future. We were so inspired to listen how did you pick up the topic that concept of identity, which at times is multiple and consistent, has to be more inclusive and shared. You gave emphasis to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which was G20's mission statement during India's presidency. And you concluded with such a beautiful verse from Sanskrit, which is inspiring for all of us and absolutely in line with the theme of the whole conclave this time. And I remember with Honorable Vinay Sahasrabuddhe ji, we had one program together when we were permanent mission of India in Geneva. It was as inspiring as today. Thank you very much, sir, for being here today. and representing not only BIMSTEC, but representing the culture of peace also through your words of wisdom. So kind
Thank
of you,
you.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Vikrant.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Indramani Pandey for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much. Swami Gunatitananda Saraswati Ji. He is a monk from Chinmay Mission, a seeker of the truth and a disciple of Swami Chinmayananda. He studied Vedanta in India at Sandeepani Sadhanalaya of Chinmay Mission. He is presently based in Chinmay Mission of Sri Lanka as the resident Swami. In keeping with the vision of Chinmay Mission, inner transformation of individuals resulting in a happy world around them, he is engaged in sharing the knowledge culled from the scriptures in the modern context, motivating the adults as well as young adults, thereby enabling them to become positive contributors to society. Swami Gunatitananda Saraswati Ji was a successful IT professional, well versed in business management and IT practice prior to embarking on the journey in the search of the truth.
Namaskar, Hari Om. Topic today, gratitude as a spiritual practice. So we would like to reflect on gratitude as a spiritual practice. And by the end of it, we will also realize the relevance of that to the theme of this conference, which is establishing the culture of peace on this to mark the International Day of Peace. So let's get on with it. Gratitude as a spiritual practice. First is, what is a spiritual practice? A spiritual practice, first thing is, it's pretty obvious. It has to be practical. Something which people can practice. The second thing is also it has to be realistic. It has to be based on facts and not on fiction. So in that sense, it has to be realistic. Why we do this and what we have to do, etc. It has to be realistic. Third thing is the spiritual practice should lead to something. So what should it lead to? It should lead to, number one, relative good. When I talk about relative good, as we live in this world, we interact with people, we try to achieve success, etc. So in that sense, it should be rewarding us to live peacefully and in harmony in this world, happily in this world. The second aspect of the benefit is that it should lead to the absolute good. What Hindu scriptures say, moksha, mukti, or self-realization. So it should enable you to get there as well. So that's basically what a spiritual practice is. So now, if we understand this aspect of the topic, that is spiritual practice, then we have to talk about now gratitude as a spiritual practice, which leads us to the next part of the topic, gratitude. What is gratitude? Now, gratitude is not a transaction. See, I go to a shop, I pay something, and I get something. So I give something, and the shop owner gives me something. But that is a transaction. And we do a lot of transactions like this. So one thing we have to understand is gratitude is not about a transaction. I get something, and in return I have to give something. If I feel like that, and if I do something like that, that is just merely a transaction. So gratitude is not a transaction. I would rather say gratitude is an attitude. let me explain first. You see, if I do something entirely by myself, thinking that I'm the one who's doing it, entirely do something by myself and achieve something, I don't go about thanking myself. So when do I thank? Why do I thank someone or something? Is that when I receive something from outside, when I receive help from outside, then I feel grateful. I say thank you. So there comes the gratitude. So why do I receive help? Is it because I think I deserve it? Or is it because somebody else or something else thinks that I deserve it? And if you look at it, if I just because I think I deserve something, I don't get help. It's just that when others or other things think that I deserve it, then I receive help. So it is when I get help, etc. It is not because I am entitled to it, but because the others think I deserve it. Now, the next question is, who are these others? Even a very simple act, for it to conclude successfully. Even, you see, I'm speaking to you in this forum, and for this to take place successfully, there are so many things have to come into play. When I say so many things, you cannot list them all. The list will be endless. To put it shortly, the whole universe gets involved in making this happen. Somebody might say, yeah, we paid for this, we paid for that, etc. We paid for the internet and we paid for the etc. All of that is fine. But if you look at all the factors, there are so many, the number of things involved in our list. If I make a list, we will realize we don't pay anything for them. The nature, the universe, because of universe only everything is possible. The whole universe collaborates to make it happen. And then things happen. Not because I just do something, even this physical body, which I think I own it, and I'm doing something, so I think that I did it. So therefore, I may think that I'm entitled to for the results, etc. The scriptures say you are not entitled to anything. You may think you did it, but if the rest of the universe doesn't cooperate, you can't even move your finger. So, this is what Bhagavad Gita talks about as Yagna Bhava. The Lord says, I created this world as a Yagna. Yagna is a cooperative endeavor. Where everyone come together, contribute, make it happen, and then the results are shared by everyone. Not because you deserve it, but because you are part of it. You are part of it, it is shared. So, here, gratitude, as I said, is an attitude where when I receive something, I can never ever pay back. Even if I have to work my whole life, I can never pay back anything what I receive. So that gratitude is an attitude is first I have to remember this. Because we think we do it and sometimes we get help. And the sense of doership, the sense of entitlement, sense of individuality makes us think, and the way we achieve success, etc., how we define success, commercialism, all of this makes us think we are entitled. But if you think carefully, even if you have to work your whole life, you cannot return everything what you receive. We will be net debtors. So gratitude is an attitude just to, just where you remember this, so that you don't have that sense of entitlement, but the sense of gratitude. So this is something to be remembered all the time. And the spiritual relevance of it, how it is supposed to uplift us, how it is to give us do us relative good and absolute good. Also, we have to understand. See, the whole purpose, the scriptures say, our identity is infinite. Our identity lies with the totality. We think otherwise. We think we are individuals. We think we are finite. But the scriptures, they dare us. They say that we are infinite. Our identity lies with the totality. And it is up to us to assert that identity, shaking off this false sense of individuality, shaking off this false sense of finiteness. They dare us to assert our identity with the totality, identity with the infinite. So the gratitude as an attitude continuously keeps me in this mindset. I'm not an individual. I'm not finite. And it is supposed to, eradicate my ego. Because everything, when I achieve something, I feel that I'm great. But the gratitude as an attitude puts this ego in its place. And when my ego is checked, then I'm ready to make the leap, which the scriptures dare me to do. Identify yourself with the infinite, the totality. So the whole purpose of gratitude is just to keep us reminding that whatever you get, don't think that you are an individual. Because you are an individual, you are so great, you are getting it. It's just the whole universe is collaborating to make it happen, so that you can rise above. You can rise above. So this is why the scriptures always say we have 5 debts we owe. Debts to whom? To Devas, the the divine forces, or phenomenal forces within. Then why? Because that represents the infinite, from which our body, our mind, our intellect, all of that has come. And we are supposed to be grateful, gratitude. Then the knowledge. We think, in this era of intellectual property, copyrights, etc., we think that knowledge is somebody's property. No. Knowledge is something which is revealed, which was revealed by the infinite, and which has been passed on, from one generation to another generation. We call Guru Parampara, lineage of teachers. So we call it Rishis, we call them Rishis, so we owe them that debt. Rishi Rana. And then the third thing is Pitru, our ancestors. We owe, if you look at it physically, we owe our genes, our physical body, to our ancestors. and the culture which we have inherited, the culture which enables us to relate to everybody and live in a society, the culture which pulled us out of the caves and pulled us out of the trees and the jungle and made us live as a society and raise ourselves beyond. So that has been handed over by our ancestors. So we owe them that debt. Then fellow human beings, every activity which takes place in this planet involves the cooperation of all the human beings, whether we like it or not, whether we pay for it or not. Just because we pay for something, we shouldn't think we are entitled. What we pay is cost of exploitation. So we owe a great debt to the mankind. And then finally, rest of the creation, both are living and not living, and plant life, animal life, all of them have to cooperate to make this whole universe and the planet possible, and because of which I can do something, I can live, I can achieve something. So this is the whole idea of the sense of gratitude mentioned in our scriptures, where it enables us to understand where we fit in as individuals, where we owe everything and anything to everyone, not only other human beings, but the whole universe, environment, etc. So it puts us in harmony, puts us in peace with the whole universe. Relative good. And also prepares us for the ultimate good, that is eradicating our ego completely, so that I can shake off my sense of finiteness, sense of individuality, and reclaim or reassert my identity with the totality, identity with the infinite. This, my friends, is gratitude as a spiritual practice. And I take this opportunity to invoke the grace and blessings of the infinite upon all of people who have gathered for this conference. And the theme of the conference, so that it can become a success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. What a wonderful way to begin the day. We had one public representative, then we had a senior diplomat, and now we have a spiritual master. I think this is what represents United Consciousness. And Swamiji, as you rightly said, that gratitude is not a transaction. I loved the way you mentioned that the whole universe collaborates to make things happen. And with this Yajna Bhava, even Lord has created this universe. You warned us against the sense of doership, individuality, sense of entitlement. Love the way you said that what we pay is the cost of exploitation. You warned us against the ego, and you reminded us that we are infinite. You also reminded us that I am not the doer. It is a cooperative effort of everything. You reminded us that we can never pay back anything, what we receive. You also invoked those 5 debts that scripture says we are born with, and whole life should be an attempt and effort to repay it with humility. So you have left me with no words at all, Swamiji. As you said, we can't return anything. Certainly we can't return. We can't return your efforts, your blessings. Only we have been taking from you with humility and respect. I would like to thank you, Swamiji, for your time, effort, and energy. Whole program of United Consciousness, 6 weeks, are blessed with your speech. Many messages I am receiving on my WhatsApp, Swamiji, when I am talking to you. Prabhakar ji, my friend, wrote from India that attitude of gratitude, how powerful. So we are receiving your blessings and we are getting benefited in gratitude. Swami, thank you.
Pranams.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Swami Gunatitananda for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
Bharti Ji is a passionate yoga practitioner with a vision to spread the goodness of yoga and meditation with everyone. Her institute is called Yog Bharti, located in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Yog Bharti's mission is that yoga is a lifestyle that encourages one to live a healthy and balanced life. At Yog Bharti, yoga and meditation are used as a tool to help people achieve personal and professional growth. The Yoga One practices in the class doesn't end after the session. It's molded into day-to-day life so that one can continue reaping the benefits of yoga. Yog Bharti provides comprehensive yoga, healing sound therapy and acupressure services for complete health and wellness solutions.
Namaste to everyone. Thank you so much for having me here, and I welcome you for a beautiful mindful yoga session from the land of majestic Himal and the beautiful tranquility and the land of the self-discovery from Nepal. So as we go through today's practice, I want all of you to be in a very comfortable and seated position. And I hope that at the end of this practice, I would give you more peace and more sense of clarity and more sense of love and gratitude. Okay, let's begin the practice. So seated in a very comfortable position with you on your mat and keeping your spine straight, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your back. Make sure that your muscles are not strained or not having any difficulties. Okay, so after sitting in a relaxed position, you certainly turn up your palm. This is a receiving position, receiving the energy of universe. So we are open for the gifts of universe. So gently place them on your knees and gently close the eyes. As you close eyes, we close all the senses. We close all the senses and gently start breathing through your nose. As you breathe, inhale. As you inhale, just expand your abdomen, expand your chest. And as you gently exhale, exhale through your mouth. As you exhale, you relax your muscles, relax your whole body, relax your spine. One more time, breathe in through the nose, and breathe out through your mouth. As you keep doing this deep breath, just imagine yourself surrounding with the majestic Himalayas, with a beautiful, peaceful flow of river and the ancient temple around you. Imagine the breeze of the snow breeze, cold breeze touching your body and soothing all your emotions, soothing all your wounds and relaxing them. Just gently visualize the beautiful sunrise. This sunrise represents the enlightenment, represent the wisdom, represent the consciousness. Now take deep breath in again. Deep breath out again. Now, before starting the session, we are going to join both the palms together and keep them on your heart center in a Namaskar Mudra. And we will gently chant Om before starting the session. Deep inhale through your nose again. One more time, inhale. Now feel the vibration of Omkar flowing throughout your body. Now you gently rubbing the palm, creating a healing energy in your palm, activating all the chakras present in your palm, all the pressure points present in your palm, and gently placing them on your face. As you gently place them on your face, slowly rub your palm and pass that healing energy to your face. Okay. Now gently opening the eyes. Let's begin with the neck roll. Slowly we will start with the neck movement, inhaling, neck up, exhaling, neck down. So you can keep your eyes closed and make yourself more mindful while doing this. You can simply follow the instruction, neck up and exhale, neck down. We are going to do 2 more times, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more, inhale up and slow, gentle exhale down. Now inhale at the center. Now we are going to gently roll the neck rotation. Very soft, gentle breath. You can keep your eyes closed and be aware with the neck movement. Be aware with the stretch. Be aware with the breath. Slowly as you neck up, inhale. As you neck down, exhale. Now let's do the anti-clockwise. Counterclockwise, slowly relaxing the neck muscle. As you relax the neck muscle, your whole brain relax down, your shoulders relax down. Very good. One more time and gently come back at the center. Okay, now open your eyes with a big smile. Okay, now keeping both your palms to the side, rolling the shoulders, we are going to have a nice stretching. Slowly inhaling up, reaching your arms up. And interlock the finger, facing your palm up, stretch your whole spine. Let's give a nice stretch to the spine. Beautiful, gentle breath. 3, 2, 1. Now slowly exhaling. As you exhale, you round your back, hunch your back, tuck the chin and stretch your palm forward. So these are very simple yoga stretches which you can do anywhere. It just needs few seconds. It will revive your spine again. Again, stretching and opening up, exhaling, slowly hunching and rounding. As you round, you tuck the chin and look at your navel. Okay. As you inhale, slightly chin up and try to look at your pinky finger. One more time, exhaling and slowly hunching your back. Your spine is very important. You have to make your spine more healthy. Now slowly relaxing your palm. Now bring one palm to the side and we are reaching to the side. We're opening the side. Very good. You can slightly look up and make the stretch a little bit more deeper. As you go deeper there, slowly exhale. When you exhale, it will make you more relaxed. It will make your muscles more relaxed. Very good. One more time, inhaling, deeper breath. And slowly as you go to the side, exhale slowly. Slightly looking up. Just feel the nice stretch on your side and have a deeper exhalation there. Let's try one more time, inhaling. Exhale to the side. Inhale again. Exhale this side. Good. Slowly inhaling Lifting your arms up one more time. Now this time we are going to twist the spine. So bringing the right palm on our left knee, left palm at the back. So you have to keep at the back and slowly straighten your chest, your back, and slowly turn back. As you turn back, look as far as you can. Turn your spine. Very good. Few gentle breath there. Inhaling one more time, come back at the center. Exhaling, going again to the side. Again this time, your left palm on your right knee and turning your right palm at the back. And slowly stretching nice and deep. Stretch. Inhale again. Let's repeat it one more time. Inhaling, coming at the center one more time. Exhaling, going back. Keep breathing and keep smiling. Inhale, now slowly bring your palms on your knee. Now this is a very beautiful stretch. It will stretch all your spine and your waist muscle. What you have to do, you have to stretch and go to the one side. And slowly going, sliding forward, exhaling, 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 turning to the other side and slowly rounding the back as you come back. Let's do 5 times from one side. This whole practice will renew your spine. The new urja will flow through your spine. Very good. Slowly exhaling and turn. One more time as you go forward, exhale, and slowly as you inhale, hunch your back. Okay, let's do the other side the same way. So you have to stretch, you have to really put a pressure on the other knee and slowly go down to the opposite knee and slowly going forward and rounding your back. Rounding your back. This will help you to activate your Muladhara chakra also, the basic of our chakra system, root chakra. Slowly rooting down. Very good. One more time and relax. Okay. Now gently relax yourself here. Be in a relaxed position and just visualize, just bring your awareness to your spine. You will find a beautiful energy flowing through your spine. Okay. Now let's move on towards the other practice. So for that, you have to come into the tabletop position. So in tabletop position, your knee should be hip distance apart, your palm should be shoulder distance apart, and your wrist, shoulder, and your elbow and your shoulder should be aligned. Okay, likewise. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to do cat and cow pose here. Slowly inhaling again. As you inhale up, arching the back, pressing the navel down. As you exhale, slow, gentle hunching and rounding the back. Round as deeper as you can. Inhaling one more time. Exhaling again. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, head up, arch the back, lifting your tailbone up. And exhaling, you hunch your back. So you're lifting your navel up. Stretch. And relax there. Okay. Now, we are going to do one beautiful stretch, Anahatasana. So for that, you have to separate your knees. Separate your knees and sit in this position. And now you're slowly walking your palm. Slowly, as you walk your palm, gently relax your body. As you relax your body, slowly slide there. Wherever you find yourself in a comfortable position, stay there. Deeply inhale and slowly try to put down your chest on your mat. So touch that Anahata chakra, that heart center to the mat, and gently breathe there. Observe your breath. Feel the nice stretch on your shoulders. Okay, now coming back here, slowly coming into the tabletop position one more time. And here, from here, we are going to do the mountain pose. Okay, so lifting the knee up and pressing the heels down. Put your head in and be like a beautiful mountain. Mountain from Nepal. Stretch it nice and tall here. Lifting your tailbone up, pressing your head towards the mat. As nice as you can. Breathe there for a few breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Now slowly inhaling, reaching your right leg up and slowly putting your right leg in the front between both the palms, dropping the knee down, relax your feet at the back and slowly inhaling, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, lifting your chest up, opening the chest. Breathe here for a few breaths. 3, 2, and your 1. And slowly exhaling down. Relax down here. Now again, we are going to tuck the toes at the back and slowly lifting the knee up. Now we are sending the right leg back and repeating this posture with the left leg. So again, come into a beautiful mountain, stretching your whole body. Breathe there. 3, 2, and 1. Now lifting the left leg up, nicely stretching and exhaling. You're bringing your left leg in the front between both your palms, dropping the knee, relaxing your feet at the back. Slightly adjust yourself here. Be stable and slowly as you find the position, you just reach your arm, opening the chest, breathing here. Breathe for 3, 2, and your 1. And slowly again going palms down and tucking the toes at the back, lifting the knee and slowly into your beautiful mountain. Stretching. Now we are going to step the right leg in the front, then left leg in the front and come into the Malasana. So I'm going to show you from this way. So this is a really good practice to open up your hip joint and your thighs. Slowly bringing that namaste at the chest center and you're pressing away the knees through your elbow and lifting your back up, pressing your hips down. So if you find it difficult, you need to practice more often. Very good. Now slowly we are going side by side, opening the hips a little more wider, breathing in and out. Very good. And a beautiful smile. Very good. Okay, now we are going to gently sit down in a Baddha Konasana, grabbing your both the toes and slowly keeping your back straight and slowly going into the butterfly pose. So we are now relaxing, breathing, relaxing our hip joint, our leg, our back. Gently, you can close your eyes and be aware with your different muscles and joints, whatever we have used during the asana session. Now let's sit down again, keeping your back straight, rolling the shoulders. One more time in a sitting position, moving your neck side to side. And thank you everyone for watching. And I hope you will practice yoga daily and make it as a part of your lifestyle. Thank you so much, Vinay.
Thank you very much, Bhartiji. You brought freshness and spiritual wisdom from the land of Nepal. Yes, being physically fit is the pathway to be mentally peaceful. Thank you very much for being with us today, bringing your time, effort, energy, and wisdom of yoga to all of us. Thank you very much from the land of Lord Mahakaleshwar Ujjain. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Bharti Thapa for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. In a world marked by division and uncertainty, yoga emerges as a powerful force of unity. Beyond physical postures, yoga fosters inner peace, mindfulness, and compassion, transcending culture and societal boundaries. By connecting individuals to their inner selves and to others, yoga creates a shared space of understanding and empathy. In times of global unrest, yoga offers not just a practice but a path towards collective harmony, healing, and universal connection. So today's panel discussion will be on the topic, the role of yoga in promoting unity amidst global unrest. Our next panelist, whose Buddhist name is Tejavaro Thevo, Malaysian by origin of Indian heritage. He started learning Buddhism at 7 years of age in 1991. At 15 years of age, he becomes Srimanara in Malaysia. He became a bhikshu in Thailand when he was 20 years of age. In 1997, he went to Taiwan to learn Mahayana Buddhism and studied Chinese at National Sun Yat-sen University. He completed his bachelor's degree in anthropology at Marylhurst University, USA in 2008. He holds a master's degree in yoga from Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya in Haridwar, India. Most recently, he completed his PhD in yoga and the Buddhist tradition in 2017 at Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow, India. Currently, he is preparing for the postdoctoral program at National Cheng Kung University, Tainan, Taiwan. In addition, he gives lectures on Ayurveda and yoga at National Sun Yat-sen University and also serves as vice abbot for the Golden Mountain Temple. I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. A.K. Jain, who is working as a professor of leadership, emotional intelligence and organization design, Dean Accreditation and Ranking, online PGDM and School of Management for Financial Institutions and Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. He has established a Center of Excellence for Indian Thought and Management. Professor Jain is a visiting professor to several international universities including Aarhus University, Denmark, IULM University, Milan, Italy, University of Free State, South Africa and Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, Ranchi, Bodh Gaya and Kozhikode. Professor Jain has received an award for extraordinary performance for Aarhus University for his research and publication and from National Academy of Psychology, India. He has also worked as the Director of Institute of Management Studies, Ghaziabad, and received a prestigious award of Most Charismatic Leader in Management Education and Education Post. He has published 72 research articles in high-impact journals including Journal of Managerial Psychology, International Journal of Hospitality Management, etc. He has research interests in the field of leadership, emotional intelligence, employee voice and silence, psychology, well-being. He has faith in Indian thoughts emanating from Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Tattvarat Sutra, Tipitaka, etc. He believes in traditional Indian knowledge system and practice concepts like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, and Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Professor A.K. Jain. Today in the panel we have with us Dr. Shiva Nair, who is an uro-oncologist in Hamilton, New Zealand. He is the clinical director for the urology department at Waikato Hospital. He has travelled across multiple cities and countries for his training. He has his publication on cancer and non-cancer topics. He has previously tutored at University of Otago and University of Auckland Medical School and remained active in teaching and training his students and residents. Dr. Nair remains ardent student of Vedanta. He was taught Guru Parampara by the Chinmay Mission and currently he is studying several texts including Upanishads. He is active in Hindu Swamsevak Sangh in New Zealand at the local level. His primary goal is to understand the self-knowledge and spread it to as many as possible. I am privileged to welcome Mr. Bhanu Sharma. He is an accomplished and dynamic leader at Tega Industries, where he serves as an executive committee member overseeing a diverse workforce across 21 countries in 6 continents. As the global head of HR and IT, Bhanu plays a pivotal role in driving cultural transformations and organizational effectiveness within a company renowned for its critical consumable in the mining, mineral processing, and material handling industry. With over 2 decades of experience, he has honed his expertise in scaling startups, acquiring and integrating major infrastructure companies, and guiding Indian corporates to become global MNCs. His unique journey from a software engineer to a seasoned HR professional has provided him with a deep understanding of business functions, allowing him to approach HR with empathy and exclusiveness. He has done his master's in management from MDI Gurgaon and another computer application from Punjab Technical University. Beyond his professional achievement, he is a retired ultra-marathoner, dedicated father, avid reader, and engaged philanthropist, investing in and mentoring non-profits. His ability to simplify complex challenges and create buy-in for large-scale solutions make him a true HR business partner, respected for his visionary leadership and commitment to excellence. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Bhanu Sharma. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener, United Consciousness. Dr. Tobar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Hi, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar. Welcome this elegant and eminent panel of experts from different parts of the world. We acknowledge your presence, Dr. Tejavaroji from Taiwan. Thank you very much for being here. Acknowledge your presence, Bhanuji from India. So kind of you to be here today. We acknowledge and respect presence of Dr. Shiva Nair from New Zealand and my friend Dr. A.K. Jain from India. Dear friends and audience participants watching us from different parts of the world. The topic of our discussion today is the role of yoga in promoting unity amidst global unrest. So to begin with discussion, let's start with the fundamental question. And in our array of speakers today, we have a professor, a medicine doctor, professional of HR and IT, and a spiritual master. So we can see one truth from different dimensions. I think somebody's speaker is on. Bhanu Sharma ji, can you mute your speaker? Perfect. Now, whenever I will invite, then anybody of you can unmute and start speaking. That way, that humming will be reduced. Perfect. So we have people from 4 different walks of life to talk about one truth. So we are going to discuss about how yoga can contribute in bringing global peace amidst this global unrest. So to begin the discussion, we would like to ask from you, Dr. Tejavaroji, what is yoga? And I request all the speakers to be brief in their answers so that we can have many rounds of discussion so that audience will be benefited more. Over to you, Tejavaroji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What is yoga?
Yoga is peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga is mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga is understand oneself and understand others. When I mean others means the nature, whatever is in nature, so we understand each other. So that is yoga.
Perfect. Thank you very much. She brought some important words mentioning yoga is knowing self and others, understanding nature, being mindful. Dr. Nair, you are exposed to Vedantic traditions. You are also a medical doctor. From a Vedantic and a medicinal perspective, how do you see yoga?
Hari Om. So yoga, to my understanding, is yunjin. Yunjin comes from the Vedic word, and then it's translated to yoga, which means to join with something. So here the joining is with the higher, you can say the United Conscious. And if you're looking at the processes, then you have different types of yoga. You got the hatha, pranayama, and it goes up, right? So to me, yoga is that.
Thank you very much. One more meaning we got from Sanskrit root yuja, saying that union with the higher. Bhanu Sharma ji, you have been widely traveling across the planet. In many parts of the world, there is a confusion between yoga and gymnastics. So, would you like to elaborate upon?
For me, yoga is congruence of mind, body, and soul. So today we all need a stress-free and a very happy life. So gymnastic and sports can make you physically fit, but it will not help you lead a happy and a stress-free life. That is what yoga can offer.
Thank you very much. So Bhanu Sharma ji mentioned that it is the combination of mind, body, and soul, union of these three, and gymnastic or physical aspect is only one aspect of yoga as a philosophy. So we have our friend Dr. Jain. Jain Saab, yoga has many limbs in it, and one of the important limbs is yamas and niyamas. So you come from Jain tradition. Would like to know from you that ahimsa as a limb of yoga, as a part of yoga, what contribution do you see it has to the world we have today? You are muted, Jensa.
Yeah. Namaskar. Pranam, sir. Regarding yoga, like first, the brief, maybe since I'm a professor, so I would like to just quote quickly 2-3 scriptures from where I have borrowed the definition of yoga. Number one is Vaisheshik Sutra, and that is verse 5.2 and 15th and 16th verse. In brief, I am saying it is a journey to self. It is a journey to self from external orientation to inner orientation. The second is Kathopanishad, verse 6.10. And in brief, again, a firm restraint of the senses. A firm restraint of the senses is yoga. Third, Gita 2.48, the verse 2.48, that talks about Samatva. It means equal-mindedness can also be considered yoga. Patanjali, verse 1.2, it says Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that is also yoga. So calming down of the fluctuations is also yoga. Regarding the Jainism, you said, because it's very important, because in India, Sanatan Parampara also have very good space for what we call sometimes Nastik Dharma, that is Buddhism and Jainism. In Jainism, there is a very beautiful concept called 3 jewels. And 3 jewels means right view and right knowledge and the right conduct is yoga. In Buddhism, we are all about aware of like 8-fold path. That is also connected with the yoga. And in Patanjali, that is like 8-limbed path, like Yama, Niyama, and Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. All are part of yoga. And I think Patanjali, in a way, in my view, is the best source of yoga. And nothing can be better than Patanjali. That talks about in a very holistic way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan Saab. And as I promised to the audience, we have people from different walks of life. You can see so many definitions of yoga so that you can pick and choose and you can identify the common denominator between whatever is being shared. That's amazing, Jan Saab. You mentioned about yoga is restraint of senses as mentioned in Kathopanishad. Dr. Tajawaroji, whole multinational companies are promoting that leave your senses open. Whole world is yours to consume. And now yoga talks about restrain your senses. How it is possible? I am here in this consumerization of the world to go and consume. And Jen Saab is saying to restrain the senses. How is it possible?
Uh, it it comes back to oneself again, to see our mind, how much peace you are at every moment. So of course we need to use things. We have to go outward to make this body alive. That is definitely needed. But at the end, most of the time, you are alone, sleeping, resting, and you have to see yourself. And whenever you are with yourself, then mind comes. So whenever all the senses, whenever all the six sense used to go out and indulge with everything, then it is very difficult uh, for you to have peace, because our mind used to move, and when it makes when you makes it to calm, it's very hard. So that's why for mind we need peace. For peace we need to make all the senses pull inward, then you will find the peace. But outer peace, we will have the temporary peace, but for long term peace, definitely we have to practice pratyahara.
One technical term introduced by Dr. Tajawaro is pratyahara. He said, withdraw the senses and use material things to keep the body alive. We need things. But as we see, you are a traveler, Bhanuji. You know that you also work in a corporate. So if Mahatma Gandhi said, world has enough for everybody's need, but not enough for a single person's greed. And this greed further has created global unrest from different ways. So what message of yoga is there to this global edge where this need and greed combination, outward and inward combination can be bridged upon? How yoga can bridge?
Uh, Thank you, Tomar Saab, and thank you, Tanjavur ji. It's a very, very I mean, like you gave me another dimension because when Tomar Saab was asking that question, I had my own answer to that. So thanks a lot. Already learning in this session, just in the starting. So Tomar Saab, I think when I go out and even here, I think the whole idea of Darwinism, where we are told that there is only one pie, and that's where the whole competition, the unrest, the fighting, and all that comes into the picture, because we all think there is only one one piece of bread, and everybody wants to have it from that, and that's where the issue happens. Now yoga teaches us abundance. Yoga teaches us to be in sync with ourselves. Yoga teaches us to be in sync with our endowments. So once we internalize, we realize that there is enough for everybody outside. There is enough for me, there is enough for my colleague, there is enough for my brother, sister, anybody and everybody around. So you start believing in yourself. So I have actually practically seen it working with myself, with lot of colleagues. We have started doing yoga across the globe. A couple of initial years, there were some issues from some countries. Now they have realized it's neutral. They have started following, and when we talk about organizations, as you asked, they are talking about going full hog and doing things completely. So the world also, if you see the organizations which are doing well, they are those organizations which where like Google, Facebook, where employees have brought about something. So again, I'm going back to the endowments. When So the world is moving from a top-down approach to a bottom-up approach, from a KRA, traditional KRA methods in the organization to OKR, where people down the line are being creative, they are conscious, they are connected, they are bringing the ideas. So the authority or the loyalty has changed to belongingness, and that is yoga is the key, I would say. It helps you, it's one instrument which can help you fast track your realization of endowments, and fast track you be in sync with yourself, and in turn, I mean, like you become a more, even you see the organizations coming now, people are not going for patents. You see, I mean, like Tesla and all, they are saying, let it be a free world, let everybody come compete. So we are moving towards there, and yoga can actually be a huge catalyst in fast tracking this abundance thought rather than Darwinism thought.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As I'm going into the discussion, I'm loving it all the more because we are seeing so many non-traditional dimensions of yoga. Banuji spoke exactly from a corporate point of view, how things that one pie to and redefining your KRAs. Dr. Shiva, you mentioned that there is one KRA of yoga, key result area of yoga, union with the higher. Fine. So when I have that union with the higher, how will it help in global peace? You mentioned that yoga leads to union with the higher, and that should be my KRA. How will it help in global peace?
Hari Om. So that's saying yatha drishti tatha srishti, right? How I see will be how the world reflects onto me. So if you see yourself as peaceful, when you have united with the higher conscious, that means I see no differences between me and the next being. How can there be conflict? So it itself would dissolve the idea of conflict.
Being peaceful inside will help me to see peace outside and be peaceful with others also. Tajavoroji, you mentioned about, as Dr. Shiva mentioned, that yatha drashti tatha srashti, and you told us to invert our drashti. You told us to do pratyahara, withdraw. My eyes are showing me outside. You said, see inside, search inside. So would you like to teach in next maybe 1 and 2 minutes, give some practical tips to the audience who are not exposed to yoga? How can we withdraw senses? Some practical, ready to use tips.
Perfect. First is, our mind is meant to move. So yoga meant to make the mind not to move. So we are easily to get stressed or emotion imbalance or the tense. So the practical is, whenever we see ourselves, whenever you don't like to see someone talk to you in not nice way, or see you or think of you in a bad way, so we have to make ourselves, the way we speak, the way we think, the way we make ourselves to outward to others in a positive way. Because first, thought process, speech, and your act, only 3 ways. So whatever you would like to receive from others, the same thing you have to give to others. So that is the most important part, what we could practice. I would make in this way.
Perfect. So you mentioned about that keeping mind still is very important, and dealing with emotional imbalance, yoga can contribute a lot. So, and you also mentioned that even if somebody is talking badly with you, you do need to do that transition. And from here, things may start moving. Dr. Tajavoro mentioned a very good dimension about emotional imbalance. I was reading a research, 1 on every 8 person on the planet is going through mental issues. How yoga can contribute in mental resilience. Dr. Jan, you have been studying, researching things. Question to you is how yoga can help in better mental resilience among people, emotional balance and mental resilience against the stress.
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. I think very interesting question, Thomas. Because you know that Gita begins from here. So Krishna has, somewhere blessed Arjun to develop mental resilience during the battle, in the battlefield and during the war time. And when I am thinking of Kurukshetra, so basically we all are in the Kurukshetra as far as we are alive. So mental resilience is very fundamental to all of us. And when we talk about resilience, it looks like that we are going to gymnasium, we are going to play some big games in order to develop a strong body. And mostly people, they fall upon building a strong body rather than a peaceful mind and restful mind. And I'm just borrowing one sutra from Tatvar Sutra in Jainism. And the fundamental in Jainism is called Parasparop Graho Jivanam. So it means that in the entire universe, one maybe you can say living organism depends on another living organism. So we have interdependencies. So interdependencies should be appreciated. And once we appreciate interdependencies, then it automatically it becomes resilient mind. Because if I hurt somebody, I know I'm getting hurt in return. So be careful about the well-being of others. If you respect others' well-being, then automatically your well-being is intact. And in Jainism, it is says Jio or Jinedo, live and let live. And sometime back, one of my friend, Mr. Ajay Mishra from DD News, has asked this question during a TV show that what is the solution of the trade war between China and US? So I said again, Geo or Jinedo, live and let live. The $60 trillion or 50, or I think for 40 to $50 trillion belongs to only 2 countries. And then mental resilience means that just be happy in whatever you have. And the research in psychology shows that if you are not mentally resilient, then you may suffer with lots of psychological disorder like anxiety and depression, emotional irregular pattern of thoughts and emotions also. In if I borrow something from my own experience and especially from the field of OB, one of my director from IIT Kanpur, he used to say that one man can spoil the entire organization. If I go little further, then what is something that can disturb one person or spoil one person? That is his nasty emotions. So control over nasty emotions, described in chapter 2 of Gita, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad and Matsar. Regulate. So that is one part. But at Swami Gunatinanda, he also spoke on gratitude. So gratitude, I think I will suggest and I will go with Gunatinanda ji, that gratitude should be inculcated in us so that we can have more resilience. And gratitude means appreciating interdependencies.
Thank you very much. Jan Saab mentioned so many profound things. Parasparo Upgraho Jivana. Jan Saab mentioned about Geo and Jinedo, be relatively neutral to the world, non-reactive towards the situations. And it reminds of me of something what Bhanuji mentioned. He used a word that yoga is neutral. So a world traveler like him, yoga is being told that in some of the parts it is considered as that it is religious, but you mentioned a word that yoga is neutral. I think that requires a little bit more elaboration, and that will increase the acceptability of yoga as a discipline when you say yoga is neutral and it can bring bridge between culture, religion and go beyond national divides even. Would you like to speak something about it? Bhanuji.
Thank you, Thomas. So, see, I would, I'll be very, very candid in answering this question. So, for me, at the way we started, we had multiple definitions of yoga among ourselves. Now, what happens is that a lot of time, and this is like purely my interpretation, I've seen that we attach a lot of things. Like I have a teenage son, I wanted him to practice yoga, and a lot of other friends and all. The challenge I have seen is that there are a lot of preparations, or like there are a lot of things the generation today or the Western world is not comfortable with. Be it exercising, let's say celibacy, or not having maybe their drinks, or not having non-veg, or not having a lot of other kind of things. But what I have also seen is that uh, if if we let's say play the waiting game and let them experience it at their own terms, I have seen people changing over the years. I have changed a lot of people. So I think uh, the bar of acceptance should be maybe like the way Baba Ramdev made it popular. He started with the physical exercise. People came closer, got used to it, uh, and then it went to the pranayams. And we also see inner engineering. We see Sudarshan Kriya. We see a lot of these 20 minutes, 25 minutes capsules being developed, so that people at least they get exposed to in a very neutral way. And I think that's the key, maybe today, that uh, while so I always quote Roger Federer, because he said a very good thing, that there is passion and there is discipline. Now, either you are talented and you are passionate about something. Jisko, if we look at our scriptures, there is bhakti and there is gyan. So there is passion and there is knowledge. So if you are not talented, right, you have to follow the other way. And 95% of us are not that gifted or that talented, so we follow this way. We practice through physical way, we practice, we get into the discipline, and maybe then we get connected to ourselves after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's like swimming, and then you meditate, and first you don't understand what is meditation, and a lot of thought comes to you. You keep practicing it over years and it comes to you. So I think if it is presented more as a neutral way, more as acceptable to the context, and also we look at Shruti and Shravan. So there was nothing written back then in the scripture, so that everything remains relevant with respect to the time, society. So I think we should. That's the way people are accepting it now, and we have seen there are a lot of live examples, and people want, as Jayat Saab has also said, people want to be stress free, and this is.
Thank you very much, Babaji, mentioning about how let people sink in with it, and then gradually they will go to the higher realms of yogic philosophy. Dr. Shiva Nair mentioned about it is must that one has to be peaceful within. Dr. Jain also mentioned to remove shat ripus. Dr. Nair, practical tips which I want to do from right now to be more peaceful with myself. What should I do? I don't know yoga. I haven't heard even word Vedanta. Tell me 2-3 things that I would like to do from today itself.
That's a very interesting. Just comment before, you said 1 in 8 had mental disturbance.
Yes.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's 7 out of 8. 1 in 8. Okay. 1 in 8 had mental peace.
So might be you must have read the more latest report than when I read it was 1 in 8.
1 in 8 might be diagnosed as mental disorder. But a lot of people who have mental disturbance without being diagnosed as mental disorder. So
I agree.
I think 7 and 8 are in mental disturbance, and 1 and 8 are in peace, honestly. But the tips, I think the Patanjali yoga is very prescriptive, and for some of us, we need to start with niyamas and yamas and asanas, and that is fine. And breathing techniques, and it's all over. Everyone on the internet. Mindfulness is the new catch term. Peaceful breathing, all those things can help because your pranas are connected to your mind. So if you control your pranas, you can get temporary control of your mind. So that's the first practical tip. Anything online you can look at, and whether it's Western influenced or Eastern influenced, everyone's mindfulness is now the fad. And if you go to Hindu scriptures, then you can get higher. But the starting point is you need to at least have some idea that I need to have peace within. That's number one. Number two is, if I want to have peace within, I need to have my breathing control. I need to sit down quietly in one place. So that's asana and pranayama done. And then once your mind is ready, then the guru will come and teach you. So that's what I think.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to have a rapid fire for just 40 seconds each of you. So, one quick tip from everybody of you, how to be more peaceful. We are celebrating International Week of Peace. No elaboration. Everybody, 30 seconds with you, 30 to maximum 40 seconds. Any quick tip that worked for you, your personal method, your personal mantra to be more peaceful whenever you confronted a situation. Maximum time, 30 seconds to 40 seconds per person. May I request Dr. Tajawaro to begin with?
Thank you. Ahimsa, Karuna, Metta, Upekha. So,
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. May I request now Dr. Jain? Quick 30 seconds begins now.
Yeah, I will say detachment and non-possession, aparigraha and vairagya. The reason is very simple. Yesterday, even my sister-in-law, she lives in Mumbai, she called me that she was asking me, because she was disturbed and moving into another job, how to get rid of these kind of irritations and anger. So I said, just feel detached. You did not bring anything to the world, and you are not going to take back anything. So feel like you are living in a like resort life.
Thank you very much. Non-possession. Thank you very much, Jain Saab. May I request Bhanu Sharma ji? Your 30 seconds starts now.
So I do pranayam, and even in the boardrooms, without putting my finger up, or in the flight, and then I concentrate with my eyes closed, and even sometimes with my eyes open. These are the two things, and I can do it anywhere and everywhere, even standing, which counts me.
Very good.
Perfect. Dr. Shivana, your 30 seconds begins now.
I'll go a little bit higher. Jagat Mithya Brahman Satyam, or you can say Ishwar Satyam, right? So everything will pass, Bhagwan remains. So
perfect. Thank you very much, respected guests who have come from different parts of the world, and dear audience. So we had a wonderful discussion on the topic, the role of yoga in promoting unity among peace and unity among global unrest. So dear friends, as Dr. Tajawaro mentioned, that yoga is peace, mindfulness, knowing self and surrounding and nature. Our friend Bhanuji mentioned it's the combination of mind, body and soul. Dr. Shiva said it's a union with the higher, and our Jain Saab mentioned about that it is the withdrawal of the senses, journey towards insight, and it is being equanimous. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And how to achieve that thing, Dr. Tajawaro mentioned that starting with self-restraint, use things. And this is, every material thing is to keep the body alive and safe. Do it for it, but let mind not follow your senses. and start with pratyahara, withdrawing of the senses. Our friend Bhanu Sharma ji mentioned that when you will withdraw your senses, you will feel abundance, because the more greed you will feel, the lack, the more scarcity you will find. But when you sink in yourself, then you'll find lot of endorsements that we have and change your KRA. And as he mentioned, in corporates also, when this site is changing, then from authoritative, it is becoming more belongingness that has to be taught in corporates also. And this is what is happening in many places of the world. Dr. Shiva Nair mentioned, when this insight changes, yatha drashti tatha srashti, then it leads to more peace within. Professor Jain mentioned that because this peace is needed, because we are in Kurukshetra of life. And in order to bring this peace, we need to learn how that we are mutually dependent. If I hurt you, that hurt will come back to me. He gave importance to human responsibilities. When I fulfill my responsibilities, it will in turn protect others' rights also. That's why he said Gio and Ginedo. He mentioned that even one person can spoil whole organization. Probably he also wanted to say that means even one person can bring beauty to the organization, peace to the organization. He mentioned the importance of gratitude and control over your shat ripus, and how to begin controlling your shat ripus, because for that, they are things which creates ripples in the mind. Our Dr. Tajawaro mentioned that keep your mind still. Even if somebody is abusing you, using wrong words, use your thought, speech, and action. You have a choice there. Be a transitional person, he mentioned. And adding to this, Bhanuji also mentioned that there are many things which higher spiritual practices expect you, like celibacy, not taking non-veg. All of that is good, but let person be initiated. Change will come from within itself. As egg, if you break from outside, life ends, but when egg is broken from inside, life begins. So beautifully he said that let the passion seep in, discipline will follow. He also said that the time it is Shruti to Shravanam, it has, because it has been a Shruti parampara, it always adjusted its principles. The global principles have always accommodated at the time. That's why these principles are beyond time. Every time can find its resort in that thing also. Dr. Shiva Nair mentioned that if you want to start from controlling yourself, connecting with the higher, then he said first follow yama and niyamas. Some basic pillars of a society: speak truth, follow non-violence, don't possess things. So yamas and niyamas, he mentioned, are very important. He said, keep your body straight, make your body stable. When body becomes stable, even mind becomes stable. He also said, keep your breath stable. Pranayama, do pranayama. Probably he also wanted to say that mind and prana are twin sisters. When prana is regulated, mind automatically get regulated. He also said, find a mentor, a guru. Guru will initiate you to the right direction. That's amazing tips our friend has suggested. Jain Saab also added to it is that we may need to assure that we need to be detached. We are too temporary to have permanent problems in life. Non-possession. We brought nothing, we'll take nothing back home. Our friend Tajawaro ji also said, follow ahimsa. Law of karma will come back to you otherwise. Swami Vivekananda used to say, good, good, bad, bad, and none escape the law. He also said, Karuna, have compassion to all, detached with everything, but connected with all. Upeksha, indifferent to everything which is not okay. Be a bad listener whenever it is needed. Upeksha. Mudita, being joyous in the happiness of others also, because we belong to one, we are mutually dependent. Parasparopagraho Jivanam, as Jain Saab mentioned. And then Bhanuji mentioned about wherever you are, do dharana, start concentrating on any object, even at the airport or railway station. It will help you to be peaceful. Do pranayama in your office, in your meetings. And Shiva Nair concluded with the biggest reality, Aham Brahmasmi, Jagat Mithya. So he said that it too will pass. Nitya Anitya Vibhed. Once we connect ourselves to the Nityam, Anityam, automatically we get Vairagya to Anityam. So having that Viveka, what is Nityam, and leaving Vairagya with what is Anityam, I'm sure if we follow these quick tips given by our masters today, we will create peace within and peace with the surrounding and a peaceful world around. Thank you very much, dear friends. And I bow down in humility and respect, Professor Jain to be here, Dr. Tajawaro to be here, Dr. Shiva Nair to be here, Bhanuji to be here. So kind of you, in gratitude.
And thank you, Dr. Tomar, to you also for being a great moderator, amazing moderator. Your memory is very sharp. You always remember so many things so nicely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhanu. Thank you, Dr. Tajawar. Thank you, Nair sir.
Welcome to United Consciousness, where one consciousness, one being, is more than just a belief. It's a movement, a global initiative that unites us all in the pursuit of peace, spiritual wisdom, and universal happiness. It's a global mission that's touching life across continents. If you have ever felt the need for connection, spiritual guidance, or just a sense of belonging, you are in the right place. Welcome to United Consciousness. United Consciousness is not just an organization. It's a living, breathing community dedicated to enhance the holistic well-being of over 3 lakh individuals worldwide. Our mission is simple yet profound. One consciousness, one being. We believe that by connecting with our higher selves and each other, we can live lives filled with purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Together, we are building a global community that shares this vision, helping each other unlock our full potential. Our logo says it all. The lotus symbolizes enlightenment, peace, and infinite universal consciousness. The petals represent all beings in the universe, interconnected and overlapping, signifying our togetherness. And that white essence in the center, it's the one source from which all beings originated. Every detail carries meaning right down to the 14 petals, which reminds us to transcend our limited identities. And speaking of transcendenting identities, our vision aligns perfectly with the global movement of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. With the presence in over 100 countries, including Switzerland, Canada, Australia, Japan, etc., our reach is global. We are not just spreading a message, we are creating a cohesive network of individuals and organizations working together to eliminate limited identities and promote peace and happiness across the planet. But what does joining United Consciousness means to you? It means gaining access to tools and resources that will help you build mental resilience, overcome stress, depression, and anxiety, and elevate your spiritual journey. And that's just the beginning. Our live question and answer sessions with the world-renowned speakers provide you with the opportunity to get all your life questions answered, whether you are seeking spiritual upliftment, emotional intelligence, or simply a community that stands and supports you. United Consciousness is here to help you thrive in this complex world. So why wait? Join us on this transformative journey. Let's create a world where peace and happiness are not just distant ideals, but a tangible reality we can all experience here and now. United Consciousness, one consciousness, one being. Together, we can make the difference. Our next guest is from Australia. She is Karine Shelshire. She comes from background of social research, planning, policy and community development, an advocate of social justice. She has a Master's of Philosophy in Housing. She has been a teacher in higher education and was president of Australasian Association of Yoga Therapy. She is trained in the tradition of Krishnacharya and remains a student of Dr. N. Chandrasekhan and Saraswati Vasudevan. She presented a paper on the use of chakras in yoga therapy at the International Yoga Therapy Conference in Japan in 2018. She's teaching synchronized breath focused yoga, incorporating guidance for a calm mind, strengthening and revitalizing the body and restoring the whole system.
Greetings. First of all, I'd like to thank United Consciousness and all the players that have been involved for the opportunity to speak in Hope of Peace. I have a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm wondering if that can come on. Thank you. My topic that I've been asked to speak about is eco-spirituality, reverence for nature as a spiritual pathway. Next slide, please. The first question is, what is eco-spirituality? And I must say I've used all my own photography, where you can see that I do have indeed a love of nature. Next slide, please. Eco-spirituality has been defined as a manifestation of the spiritual connection between human beings and the environment. Next. Next slide, please. Eco-spirituality is based on a fundamental belief in the sacredness of nature, earth, and the universe. It is also based on the notion that we as humans are not separate from or above nature. We are part of it. It is integral to us and to our survival. Next slide, please. Our traditional eco-spirituality is as old as humanity and has been practiced by Indigenous people since the beginning. I'm wondering if the slides can come on, please. Thank you. Yes, I think in referring to our Indigenous people, I'd like to say that in so many cultures we've sadly lost the wisdom that has been largely silenced, and we need to reignite that deep listening to country as taught by our traditional ancient cultures. Next slide, please. Humanity is born of nature, is part of nature, and is therefore interdependent with nature. It's something that we must reciprocate with nature in order to survive. Next slide, please. Eco-spirituality includes and honors the basic principles of ecology. How we care for nature and the ecology reflects on how we care for the inner and outer spiritual self. How this means how we revere the land and its harvest matters to us. How we raise livestock matters. The food we eat in reverence to the land matters. What we put on the table matters. The more we process it, the sicker we get. The greater excess we consume, the more unwell we become. We've seen the rise of diabetes, the rise of obesity, problems with mobility diseases, problems with the mind. We need to bring everything back into moderation. Finding reverence is finding balance, finding respect, finding moderation in what we take from nature. Next slide, please. The exquisite patterns in nature remind us of something greater than ourselves. Our pathway is that of gratitude, awareness of the sacred around us in the everyday moment. It's a matter of attuning our awareness to that sacredness that exists in nature around us. Next slide, please. Like eco spirituality, yoga takes us on an evolutionary journey in search of wholeness, a homecoming to the nature of the true spiritual self. Next. Nature offers a means of reflection on the essence of self and the sacred. Observing nature offers a sense of wonderment in reflecting who we are. We have paradigms of understanding our different layers. The koshas outline the movement from gross to subtle, from annamaya, food, to pranamaya, breath, beyond the manomaya, mind, to vijnanamaya, the intelligence, the wisdom within the heart, and finally to the anandamaya, bliss. Each layer takes us deeper into the inner sanctum of our true selves. Nature simply is. It mirrors pure essence without the mind to impede it. It unravels the cyclical patterns of creation, of movement of prana through life, through death and regeneration, and the complete surrender to something greater. Nature is constantly teaching us wisdom. Next slide, please. At the gross level, the annamaya, we are made up of the 5 elements: earth, food, water, fire, sun, energy, air that we breathe, and space. We are, as nature, part of a totality. We are both microcosm and macrocosm. Nature has that intelligence of simply being. Nature doesn't compare with the ego mind. It is intelligence, it is unbounded by thought. It is free. Next slide, please. At the second layer of the subtle body, there is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual body. And we have the 5 organs of action, the kama indriyas, speech, hands, feet, genitals, excretory organs. We have the 5 senses of knowledge, the gyan indriyas, touch, smell, taste, hearing, seeing. We have the 4 elements of the antakarana, the inner instruments, mind, intellect, subconscious, ego. And we have the 5 pranas, the 5 pranavayus, udana, prana, samana, apana, vyana. The subtle body needs these 5 subtle energies to function. Next slide, please. These subtle energies, all that we saw before, feed into our perceptions, feed into our capacity to discern, all rely on the functionality of prana. And so the movement of prana energy is very important, particularly in yoga therapy, which teaches us to balance, restore, and harmonize the subtle body, directing yoga techniques, asana postures, pranayama breathing, chant, and meditation towards specific healing of mind and body. Next slide, please. The spiritual or causal body or seed body continues throughout many lifetimes, this lifetime, other lifetimes. It stores subtle impressions from this and past lives. It is that body that connects us to the divine. Our spiritual goal is kaivalya, freedom. We attain it through surrendering to the divine within self and the divine within others within the ecology. We are all one. Everything is an expression of spirit. Next slide, please. It is an expression of spirit within energy. The paradigm of the chakras leads us through that, the fields and wheels of energy with the 5 elements attached to each wheel. At the pinnacle is the crown, the Sahasrara, that connects the microcosm to the macrocosm. Similarly, the Eightfold Path of Ashtanga draws us to the yamas and niyamas, the ethical principles that start with ahimsa, do no harm with respect to others, and certainly with respect to the environment. They offer an awakening of our self-awareness within the cosmos. Next slide, please. When we neglect the ecology, we sow disharmony, but nature strikes back. By dominating the ecology for profit, it makes little sense when we're destroying human sustainability and the natural order of traditional wisdom, of respecting the earth and the survival of all earth's creatures. We are currently choking the planet with pollutants, with CO2 emissions, with plastics, with metals, with chemicals for short-term gains, for wars, riches, territorial gains, out of plain greed or a lust for excess. Nature is intelligent. It strikes back, and we are getting the warnings. Floods, fires, tsunamis, earthquakes, electrical storms, global warming, ice poles melting, species dying, what insurance companies refer to as acts of God. Next slide, please. When we align with nature, we are able to listen to traditional wisdom that listens to the earth. We begin to recognize that we are one force of intelligence, truth, and harmony, where microcosm and macrocosm are one totality in a state of peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, respected Karinji. I think in such a less time, you took us to a complete journey of all Sanatan Dharma principles. It is so comprehensive, as you rightly mentioned, that we are a part of the nature, we live in nature, and we go back to nature. And this is what you rightly mentioned. Indigenous people have been living for centuries and years. You took us a journey into 5 koshas, 5 elements, sense organs, 5 action organs, antahakarana, 5 prana, 7 chakra, 8 limbs of yoga. It was so comprehensive that I'm sure that people who are watching it, they would like to listen it again and again, because the beautiful way you have weaved it with the concept of eco-spirituality. And rightly said, like I just now mispronounced it as ego spirituality. So I'm sure that your talk will bring us from ego spirituality to eco spirituality, that we all are one force of intelligence and truth and love. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Karine Chelsea for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. Our next guest is from Japan, who is attracted towards the charm of yoga in 2007. She is Ms. Misa Takashima. She is a certified Vedic chant and yoga teacher, mental coach, and aromatherapist. She has the experience of 14 years as a practitioner and 11 years as a yoga teacher. She came to India to learn mantra in 2013 for Vedic chant teacher training from Krishnacharya Healing and Yoga Foundation. She is much more impressed with the philosophy of Nada Brahma, which means sound of God. Her mission is to make inner peace and happiness through meditation with sacred sounds. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Misa Takashima.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you all for being here with me today. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the United States team for organizing this wonderful event with such coordination. I am also very grateful to United Consciousness International Day of Peace 2024 for giving me the opportunity to share my love for Vedic chanting meditation with mantras, sacred sounds. So peace is something we all need. Unfortunately, wars are still happening in many parts of the world today, causing great suffering. There is a Sanskrit saying, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasuda means earth or world. Eva means only, alone, or Kutumbakam means family. In other words, it means the earth is one family. Last year, during India's G20 presidency in 2023, the theme was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. This phrase comes from the Upanishad, the sacred text of the Vedas. One earth already lives by this truth. Whether we live in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, we all share the same air, the same space, and the same earth. I believe that embracing the spirit will naturally lead us towards peace. Today, Japan is not at war, but 79 years ago, we experienced the tragedy of the atomic bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. August 15th marked the end of the war in Japan. Just last month, I watched some documentaries about World War II, and they reminded me of the terrible consequences of war. I have nephews living in Israel, and last November they couldn't visit Japan because of the conflict there. War is no longer a distant idea for me. It feels very real. War brings tragedy and suffering to everyone. But it is not only war that threatens our peace. We face many challenges in life, such as climate change, natural disaster, relationships, health issues, financial struggles, and anxiety about the future. When peace in the outer world feels difficult to achieve, it becomes even more important to turn inward. Through yoga and meditation, we can find inner peace and let it grow. I believe this is the first step towards true peace. As inner peace expands, it will naturally reflect in the outer world, bringing peace to all. Now, I would like to guide you through a meditation on 7 chakras using the Bija Shri mantras. Chakras are energy centers in the body where life energy or prana flows. There are 7 main chakras, each associated with specific parts of the body and certain mental and emotional aspects. When these chakras are balanced, it is believed that physical, mental, and emotional well-being are maintained. Each chakra has a bija, seed mantra. By chanting these bija mantras, we can balance our energy, harmonize our mind and body, and cultivate inner peace. So, the first chakra, Muladhara, root chakra, is located at the base of the spine. The mantra is Lam, which enhances their sense of safety and stability. Second chakra, Swadhisthana, sacral chakra, is located in the sacral area. The mantra is Bam, which balances emotions and creativity. The third chakra, Manipulaka, solar plexus chakra, is located from the navel to solar plexus. The mantra is Ram, which boosts self-confidence and personal power. The first chakra, Anahata, heart chakra, is located in the heart center. The mantra is Yam, which promotes love and harmony. The fifth chakra, Vishuddhi, throat chakra, is located at the throat. The mantra is Ham, which enhances self-expression and improves communication. It also promotes the ability to speak to your truth and express your opinion honestly. The sixth chakra, Agnya, third eye chakra, is located between the eyebrow. The mantra is which enhances intuition and insight. And last, the seventh chakra, Sahasrara, crown chakra, is located at the top of the head. The mantra is Om, which deepens spiritual connections, which deepens spiritual connection and promotes inner peace and higher connections, higher consciousness. So chant these 7 chakras mantra 3 times each. So let's try. So breathe in deeply, then chant as you exhale. First, Muladhara chakra, first chakra, root chakra. So focus on the base of the spine. Inhale and exhale, chant Lam. 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 Next, Swadhisthana, second sacral chakra. Focus on your sacral area. Inhale. Exhale, chant Bam. 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 And next, Manipuraka, the third solar plexus chakra. Focus on your navel to the solar plexus. Inhale and exhale, chant Ram. 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 Next, Anahata, the first heart chakra. Focus on your heart center. Inhale and exhale, chant Yam. 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 And next, Vishuddhi, the fifth throat chakra. Focus on your throat. Inhale and exhale, chant hum. 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 Next, Agnya, the sixth third eye chakra. Focus on between the eyebrow. Inhale and exhale, chant Om. 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 The last, Sahasrara, the seventh crown chakra. Focus on the top of the head. Inhale and exhale, chant Om. 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 Feel the vibration of the mantra you chanted and listen to my chant. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Om Mrityurmamurtangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Then feel your whole body, feel your state of mind, at last feel your heart. Has your body relaxed and your mind and heart become quiet or calm or silent? So I hope you feel peace of mind through this session. This is the 7 chakras meditation with Bija Mantra. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Misaji. I was also following the meditation as you were leading us through. How wonderfully you started with the basic principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You also mentioned the impact of war on the planet. You also mentioned the need for climate conservation and to avoid natural disasters. And from nature around, you brought us to nature within. And you mentioned about the journey through all 7 chakras. You taught us and you took us through the Bij mantra of every chakra to Sahasrara chakra. And you concluded with Om Shanti, which is the theme of our program today. So wonderful to have you here. You are an integral part of United Consciousness, Misaji. We are really in gratitude that whenever we request you, you always take out time to guide us, to be with us, to promote oneness and peace across the planet. In gratitude. So kind of you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Misa Ronj for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. Pavan Kumar Singh. He is Director of Indian Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli. He has served as Director of Management Development Institute Gurgaon, Director in charge of Indian Institute of Management Indore, and Chairperson of the first Academic Committee of IIM Sambalpur. Dr. Singh has been Professor of Organizational Behavior and Human Resource Management at Indian Institute of Management Indore for 15 years. He earlier served as faculty in management at National Institute of Industrial Engineering, Mumbai, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, Kanpur University, and Vikram University at Ujjain. Prior to his joining academics, he worked for Bank of India as Industrial Relation Officer, having served at Jamshedpur and Ranchi. Dr. Singh is PhD in Management with post-graduation in Economics as well as Personal Management and Industrial Relations. Dr. Singh enjoys traveling, music, cricket, poetry, astronomy, and reading quotations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh.
Begin your talk, sir. All stage is yours. You may begin your talk. Most welcome.
Namaskar. Am I audible?
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Gandhi?
audible, visible, both. Let's begin.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So my time starts now. Please close it. First of all, my namaskar to all Sudhijana. Sudhijana in Sanskrit means those who are inclined towards subtler aspects of humanity and the call for the world order. So my sincere pranam to all Sudhijana. And first of all, very much thanks to United Consciousness for celebrating International Day of Peace. And my topic is compassion as a spiritual principle, cultivating empathy and understanding. Very deep topic. So since time is so limited, I'll come straight to topic. Recently, I've been working on the auspicious names of gods and form of goddesses. And very interesting insights are getting developed, because when I read various Sahasranamas and Shatnamas, Sahasranama means set of 1,000 names of the divine gods and goddesses, and Shatnama means 100 names of gods and goddesses. I'll just quote few of these. What are the names? What I did in my methodology, I took all the names and categorized into 3 categories. First set of names of God, which only God can live with. Human being cannot live with those characteristics. And second set of names were very furious and dreadful forms of God. And let it be with the God, and human being need not to follow that, and neither we can do that. And third set emerged as those names of gods and goddesses which human being can look into, can dive deeper into, and can perhaps adapt to one's own life. So this is the third set, which is more important for me and maybe for all of us. And I'll just quote few of them. Say, 2 days back, we celebrated Radha Ashtami, that is birthday of Radhaji, the consort and the companion of Lord Krishna. And one name of Radhaji is Karunarnav Sampurna. Our topic is compassion. See the name of goddess. Karunarnav Sampurna. Karuna Arnav. Arnav means ocean. Karuna Arnav Sampurna. The complete ocean of compassion. That is Shri Radhaji. That is one name. Then in Bhavani Sahasranam, I found one name, Karunalaya. That the goddess is, Alaya means abode. A big abode of compassion. We should learn from these all. I found in Gopal Sahasranam one name of God, Gopal or Krishna, that is Karuna Nidhi. And Nidhi means, let us say, treasure house, and Karuna Nidhi, the treasure of compassion. Now, when we say that the God is Anshi and we are Ansh, means God is the wholesome and we are the part of God, in that case, if part does not carry the characteristics of the whole, it is not dignified for the part to be part of that particular whole. So, Karunanidhi, Karunarnam Sampurna, Karunanay, and there are series, but I will not go into that much into this length because I have to cover a few more things. So these are some names of gods and goddesses which indicate towards having compassion. And let me say that the Sahasranama or Shatanama, Nama means noun, but actually the names of gods and goddesses, they are not nouns, they are adjectives, they are Visheshana, they are characteristics, and we should try to actually imbibe. If I am part of you, O Almighty, when I am part of yours, let me have a minuscule part of your characteristics into my life so that I also feel dignified. I also pay my gratitude to you. Because we may discuss who believes in God, who follows God. I think one description of that person who follows God may be that that person follows God who follows the characteristics of God or goddesses and tries to imbibe few of them. There are many Upanishads, and let me say again, I had told in Jaisalmer also, 194 Upanishads are available. And when you see the series of Upanishad, the second Upanishad is called Kenopanishad. There is no listing, no order, no ranking. But first Upanishad is Ishavashopanishad in any listing, and second is Kenopanishad. There you see the God, how it has been described in Kenopanishad about Karuna, compassion. There is a two-word formula because in Kenopanishad, all sutras are small and very wonderful. So one sutra of Kenopanishad is Karunaiva Kelih. Karuna iva Kelih. Karuna means compassion. Iva means that is. And Kelih means favorite pastime. What you do, what you enjoy doing. Or let us say your hobby. So Karunaiva Kelih means it is a hobby of the God to be compassionate. It is hobby. And later on I realized in my life that what we say as very important in life, and that second category of activity we say not so important in life, I find that what we categorize in our teen age as not so important actually is the most important for life. For example, a teenager may feel that my degree and my job, my profession is very important. Yes, they are very important throughout life, no doubt about that. But then a teenager feels that being compassionate, good to others, or working for creating the world order, creating a symphony around in the society, in the family, in the world order, these can wait, but actually they cannot wait. They cannot wait because Upanishad says that unless you realize yourself in this life is whole waste. So what we think in teen age, let us say, or in younger age, that these can wait, actually they cannot wait because your life is going very fast. Karuna Keli. That is hobby of the God. Can our hobby be compassion? That is point one. Then compassion is a great virtue which we have to imbibe. And that is part of our character, that is part of our conduct, that is part of our nature. But once that karuna or compassion creates a permanent citizenship within us, then we start reflecting karuna. That is compassion. So first we have to understand, imbibe karuna, then only we can gift out my behavior. I can gift out my behavior to others with karuna, that is with compassion. And Patanjali says very beautifully, using the word karuna, maitri karuna, mudita upekshanam, sukha dukha punya apunya vishyanam, bhavanatah chitta prasadanam, that your behavior towards others should carry 4 different colors as per the situation, because our response has to be contextual many times. It does not mean that we should be non-compassionate, but sometimes we have to play the role, we have to mask ourselves also. Anyway, so Patanjali says Maitri, that is friendliness, Karuna, that is compassion, Mudita means delightfulness, And upeksha means sometimes we should ignore something. Everything, if we keep taking into our personal account, you see, on behavioral pattern, then we will be really very disturbed. So, maitri, karuna, mudit, upekshanam, friendliness you should have, compassion you should have, delightfulness you should have, and just a tendency to ignore some others' behavior we should have. And he also says that friendliness should be towards those who are happy, and compassion basically should be towards those who are unhappy. And we see that world on the whole is more unhappy than happy. I'm not a pessimistic person, but you see the orders in the world, or in the countries, or in the distant part of the globe, or in the society, in the family, we are struggling to live within our nature. I'm not saying that we should acquire something extraordinary behavior, but even for ordinary behavior, and what is ordinary behavior? Ordinary behavior basically means getting established in one's own nature. And our nature, I was listening to a learned speaker also, and Dr. Vikrantji was summarizing that I listened, that Anandamaya Kosha, that is the innermost kosha of Panch Kosha given in Taittiriya Upanishad or Sarvasar Upanishad. Anandamaya Kosha is the core, is the center, and that is my nature, that is our nature. So if I am delightful, if I am blissful, that is my nature. If I am blissful, nothing extraordinary. If I am sad today, there is something extraordinary. So we should have compassion for those who have missed the rhythm of life, the rhythm of Sanskrit and rhythm of English. You see, there is rhythm between these two words, and seems that one has been taken from one another. So, maitri, karuna for those who are basically established in certain kind of non-symphonic arrangement, and mudita, delightfulness. We should have delightfulness towards those who are virtuous. If I see a virtuous colleague around me, I should be happy. And upeksha for those who are a little wicked. Of course, nobody is wicked because everybody is God's son and daughter. But wickedness basically we acquire. And if somebody is showing wicked behavior, we should ignore to a certain extent. But after that, for the compassion of others, we should actually take certain actions against them. Because I will just, because time is running very fast, whether disciplining the rogue person is karuna? Question may rise. My answer is yes. Because unless we discipline the rogue person, the self-disciplined will not be motivated. And in order to have compassion for those who are already self-disciplined, we must discipline those who are indisciplined. Otherwise, I'm not showing compassion to those who are self-guided and self-disciplined. So this is what I understand through this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then Kathasarit Sagar, a very famous story book, because three famous story books are Panchatantra Hitopdesh and Kathasarit Sagar. So Kathasarit Sagar says, Karunardra hi sarvasya santoh karana bandhavah. Karunardra means one whose heart is full with compassion. Sarvasya, hi sarvasya, that person becomes friend to all without any reason. Because we become friend with some reason. If I become friend with some reason, my friendliness or friendship is a mean to acquire something. It is a sadhan, not sadhya. But friendliness for santa, for person with pious heart, friendliness is sadhya. It is a goal in itself. If you are my friend, that is goal in itself. Not that because you are my friend, so I'll make use of you in certain aspect of life to get so-called success. No. My friendship with you is not a sadhan, not a mean, but it's a goal in itself. This is what Kathasarit Sagar basically indicates. So there are a lot of, let us say, this life without karuna is not a life. And to say a statement that it is human being, it is compassion which separates human being from other creatures is a wrong statement. It is compassion which separates human being with other creatures is wrong statement, because in other creatures like tree, or like, which is called basically jad, of course there is chetana there also, and in other creatures like maybe dogs or cats or donkey or any, they also have compassion, and there are many researches in the world of zoology itself that says that so ferocious animals also, they show compassion many times, and actually in turn human being have to learn from them, and not that human being has to keep declaring that it is compassion which separates human being from other creatures. So lesson of karuna and compassion is being available throughout our all directions, and we need to be sensitive learner and to have karuna, show karuna, conduct with karuna, and with this kind of, let us say, effect, there is a possibility that a person coming in your contact also becomes compassionate. I think 10:55 that the watch is indicating, and we respect time to the full extent. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and may we all be happy, and may we because we exist, others also may be happy. Thank you very much.
No wonder, Dr. Singh, that you are so popular in the fraternity of United Consciousness, and whomsoever ever listen or talk to you. It is so inspiring whatever you shared, and certain aspects. I never thought certain things like the way you mentioned that we are the part of that whole, and the part must carry characteristics of the whole if it is a part. So beautifully mentioned the concept of Karuna Arnava Sampurna, Karuna Ale, Karuna Nidhi. It's every cell of my body was filled with this virtue, what you mentioned. Even you mentioned about many scriptures like Kenopanishad, and making Karuna a hobby, as it is the hobby of the Bhagwan. You also mentioned about Yog Sutra, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. You defined it beautifully. Sarvasara Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad. You invoked Anandamaya Kosha in everybody. Love the way you mentioned that Karuna needs to be the permanent citizen in us. So beautifully put. And you also mentioned about that people who have missed the rhythm of life, we should be compassionate towards them also. And you mentioned about Katha Sarit Sagar, that one whose heart is full with compassion becomes friend to everybody. And I especially loved when you said that Maitri is not a means towards something, it's an end in itself. And I think that's why you are a Vishwa Mitra. You are Mitra to everybody whosoever meets you. And people who are listening to us, Jan Singh Saab is an amazing singer also. Not only a great human being, amazing scholar, he's an amazing singer. He melts the whole environment and everybody into the symphony of life. Thank you very much, Dr. Pavan Kumar Singh ji, to be a part of the council and to bless us today with your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
In gratitude. Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Professor Pavan Kumar Singh for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
This shloka means, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Rabindranath of Project Self USA, Yogi Baba Adnan and Madam Kubuk of Siddha Ashram Yoga Center, Mr. Andre Reel of Nidra Yoga, Swami Suryananda Saraswati of European Yoga Federation, Mr. Sukhdev Volker-Bretz of Yoga Vidya, Mr. Valdemar Parado of Yoga Yogeshmo, Ms. Patricia Wegle of AAYT, Ms. Amy Blessio of CUIDY, Ms. Valentina Cortene of African Spiritual Council, Mr. Andre Lebanau of Yoga Lam, Mr. Josh Pryor of Yoga Australia, and Mr. Jose Ruge for your invaluable contribution and support. I'm also very thankful to Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar of United Consciousness for hosting such a beautiful program. I also thank Team United Consciousness for their valuable contributions to such a beautiful program and their hard work.